who is Nedu, who was a character at one point on the show as well. For a certain period, he featured on Flatmates. He left and joined the Honest Bunch podcast, which ultimately became one of the biggest podcasts in Nigeria. Do you think the Honest Bunch podcast can still be as successful without Nedu as one of the hosts, considering all the scandals around him right now?
Well, to my own observation, sometimes when you're talking about Honest Bunch podcast, there are other podcasts that have come. It's just that Honest Bunch podcast is just the one, like it's the one reigning. You understand? And I could tell you why they had to pull all those stunts that they've been pulling to make it stand. So for Nedu on that show, for what I think, Nedu leaves, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that show can still stand. So for Nedu to leave that show is just like the face of that show. And if you watch, maybe they want to bring in another person. I'm sure it's just going to be, let's just see. But, for Nedu on that show, he has his own spice. He knows how to, do everything and, make it come out well. So for me, Nedu going out of that show, I don't think if it can still. So that's just my own observation.
I totally agree because Nedu, removing Nedu from the Honest Bunch podcast, it just makes it a whole different show. It's not going to be the same without him. I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see what the producers and the people who are in charge of the podcast. We're just gonna wait and see what they decide to do. Like you said, maybe they're gonna have to bring someone else, and we'll see if it's gonna be as successful. And I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be as successful without Nedu, but I guess time will tell, right?
Unless they want to come in another way. And for Nedu to play this stuff so well, if you notice from the onset, they have this way of bringing in guests and cutting some parts just to spice it up, and people begin to say, "Oh, I want to go and watch this episode. I want to do this. I want to do this." So Nedu has a way of doing it, and probably maybe they are planning something that me and you don't know. So let's just watch.
Let's just watch and see. Time will tell.